A pleasant day to all of you grade 9 Valenzuelano students. Welcome to Valenzuela Live in Health 9. I'm your health teacher, Mr. Ronel I. Villapando, and I will guide you in our lesson for today. Today, we will discuss about prevention of substance use and abuse. And here are the most essential learning competencies for today. 1. Describes the drug scenario in the Philippines. 2. Discusses risk and protective factors in substance use and abuse. 3. Analyzes situations for the use and non-use of psychoactive substances. 4. Identifies the types of drugs, substances of abuse. 5. Correct myths and misconceptions about substance use and abuse. And 6. Recognizes warning signs of substance use and abuse. Are you familiar with this news about drug-related crimes in the country? Three cops were found guilty of killing 17-year-old Kian Lloyd de Los Santos during the anti-narcotic sweep in Baysa, Caloocan City on August 21, 2017. Source, the Philippine Star, Mark Jason Cayabyab. A woman allegedly killed her 5-year-old daughter and wounded another 11-year-old in Laguna on Tuesday, which police said was due to hallucination caused by drug addiction. According to Jonathan De Santos of PhilippineStar.com, the Philippine National Police, Philippine Drug Enforcer Agency, and the National Bureau of Investigation believe that President Duterte has basis to say that there are now 7 to 8 million drug users in the Philippines, up to 4 million claimed in 2017. Now, let's look at this graph. In 1999, there were about 3.4 million drug users in our country. In 2004, the figure increased to 6.7 million but declined in 2008 by an estimated 1.7 million. In 2012, the population of drug users also declined by about 1.4 million. In 2014, President Duterte claims that there are about 3 million drug users. But in 2016 survey, he claimed that there are 4 million drug users in our country. His claim was supported by the Philippine National Police, National Bureau of Investigation, and the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. Now, let's look at this table. The profile of drug users facilitated based 2019 from DDB. The mean age of 32 years old, median of 33 years old. The ratio of male to female is 9:1. Most of the users were single for about 49.28%. Employed were 55.31%. Educational attainment is high school level with 27.99%. The average family income was 13,695 pesos and 65 centavos. Most of the users were from urban, specifically from NCR, with 32.42%. Nature of drug taking was one drug use, which means abuse of one drug only. The top 3 most abused drugs and substances are shabu, marijuana, and rugby. There are many solutions of the government to achieve the goal of having a drug-free community. To help us realize this goal, we are guided by Republic Act No. 6425, otherwise known as the the dangerous drug of 1972, which had then later repealed an amendment by Republic Act No. 9165 or the Comprehensive Dangerous Drug of 2002. Under the first act mentioned, Dangerous Drug Board was created. It serves as the focal agency for all drug-related matters. It is under the supervision of the Office of the President but became an attached agency of the Department of Health and Justice. The board envisions a drug-resistant Philippines are as follows: DepEd, CHED, DSWD, DILG, and PDEA. On the other hand, the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency was created. Republic Act 9165 was created the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. It serves as the main implementing arm of the Dangerous Drug Board, and together with the Philippine National Police, the National Bureau of Investigation, they are all responsible for effective and efficient enforcement of all provisions of the drug law. Moving on, let's discuss the risk and protective factors of drug use, misuse, abuse, and dependence. Risk factors are those influences which increase the chances of using, misusing, and abusing drugs. Protective factors, on the other hand, are those influences which decrease the chances of using, misusing, and abusing drugs. Here are the domains of life which affect drug use and abuse. First is personal, early aggressive behavior versus self-control. Risk factors, use of drug at an early age, risk-taking behavior, experimentation, poor social skills and interaction, childhood problems, and feeling of isolation. Protective factors, self-control behavior, good reasoning skills, excellent social skills, positive interaction with people, and sense of belongingness. Second is family. Weak parental guidance versus strong parental guidance. Risk factors, history and patterns of drug use, attitude towards drug use, poor parenting and child rearing, inconsistent family rules, poor family values, and poor family ties. Protective factors, good communication with people, positive family relationship, clear and consistent family rules, strong family values, positive expectation of child success in the family, school, and community. Reliance on family for emotional support. Third is the peers and friends. Substance abuse versus academic excellence. Risk factors. Association with peers and friends known to use gateway drugs like cigarette and alcohol, and preference to stay with friends and peers than with family. Protective factors. Association with friends and peers who do not use gateway drugs. Formation of friendship. Reliance on friends for emotional support. And inviting friends at home to get to know the family. The fourth one is school. Availability of drugs versus strong anti-drug policies. Risk factors. Poor academic performance, lack of commitment to studies, poor attendance in school, and involvement in fight and conflict. Protective factors. Good for excellence academic performance. join in extracurricular activities and school organization, and show interest in attending class. And lastly, community. Poverty versus a strong community relationship. Risk factors. Easy access to gateway drugs, poor community organization and neighbor relationship, poor implementation of community laws, and negative attitude which favor drug use. Protective factors, a strong community relationship, active and positive community programs, projects and activities for the youth, positive attitude which combat drug use, and a strong community advocacy against drugs. Now, try to answer the following question. Directions. Read the following statement carefully. Type a cross mark if the statement is a risk factor and a check mark if the statement is a protective factor. Then classify each statement whether it is personal, family, peers and friends, school, or community. You may write your answers using your pen and paper or type it directly in the comment section below. You will be given 2 minutes to answer. Are you ready, students? Let's get started. Time's up. And here are the correct answers. Number 2, tech, school. Number 3, tech, community. 4, X, personal. And 5, X, family. Did you get it correctly? With that, congratulations! Let's have another fun and exciting game today. Directions. Arrange the jumbled letters to reveal the correct word. You may write your answers using your pen and paper or type it directly in the comment section below. You will be given 10 seconds to accomplish each item. Are you ready, students? Let's get started. And the correct answer is gateway. Next item. Time's up, and the correct answer is depressant. Next item. Time's up, and the correct answer is stimulant. Next item. Time's up, and the correct answer is narcotics. Another one. Time's up, and the correct answer is inhalant. Congratulations everyone! You may now claim your prize. Now, let's go back to our lesson. Let us discuss the 6 classifications of drugs. These are the gateway drugs, depressants, hallucinogens, narcotics, stimulants, and inhalants. Let us proceed to the first classification, gateway drugs. They are called gateway drugs because these are drugs that a non-drug user may try, which can lead him or her to more dangerous drugs such as marijuana and shabu. Some of the examples of these are cigarettes and alcohol, which are not allowed to minors. Second classification is depressant. Depressant drugs are also known as downers. It slows down the person's central nervous system. It relaxes the muscles and nerves. Doctors commonly prescribe depressant drugs to help certain persons to become less angry, less stressed, and less tense. It makes the patients feel sleepy and lightheaded. Depressants includes alcohol, barbiturates, and tranquilizer. We also have stimulants. If depressants are known as downers, stimulants are known as uppers or speeders. It has the opposite effects of depressants because these are drugs that speed up a person's central nervous system. A person can stay awake for a long period under its influence. Caffeine is a kind of stimulant which is found in soft drinks, energy drinks, coffee, tea, and chocolates. But it doesn't necessarily mean that when you drink coffee, soft drinks, energy drinks, tea, and eat chocolates, you will become addicted. That's why you should eat and drink this in moderation. Some illegal stimulants include caffeine, nicotine, cocaine, and shabu. The fourth classification is what we call narcotics. Narcotic drugs are also known as painkiller because it relieves the pains and induces sleepiness. They are given to patients with mental disorders and to those in severe pain, but only in moderation and if only necessary. Because too much and wrong use of these drugs may cause body organs failure. Some illegal narcotic drugs are heroin and marijuana, which if taken wrong may cause overdose leading to coma and even death. The next classification is what we call hallucinogen. The name hallucinogen was derived from the word hallucination. It means to see illusions or things that are not real. Drugs which distort from reality and fact. It affects all senses and makes a user see, hear, and feel things that don't exist and are not real. Long-term use may cause psychosis, which is a mental disorder in which reality is twisted. Examples are lysergic acid diethylamide, psilocybin, and mescaline. And the last classification is what we call inhalants. From the word inhale, which means to breathe in, these drugs are taken in nasal way. These are found in ordinary household chemical products, which are huff and sniff. Continuous use and abuse lead to delusion, brain damage, liver damage, coma, and death. Some examples of household product use as inhalants are acetone, rugby or solvent, ordinary and spray paint, cleaning fluid, and air conditioner fluid or freon. It's quiz time. Identify the classification of drugs described in each statement. You may write your answers using your pen and paper or type it directly in the comment section below. You will be given 2 minutes to answer. Are you ready, students? Let's get started. Time's up, and here are the correct answers. Number 1, gateway drugs. Number 2, stimulant drugs. Number 3, depressant drugs. Number 4, narcotics. And number 5, inhalants. Did you get all the correct answers? Excellent job, students! Now, for our last activity for today, let us have the myth or fact. Direction: write myth if the statement expresses wrong idea about drug use, and fact if it shows correct idea about drug use. You will be given 5 seconds to answer each question. Are you ready, students? Let's get started. Time's up, and the correct answer is myth. Drug of abuse shut down proper brain functioning. Certain drugs stimulate brain but do not really help improve memory. Most drug users claim they think better and clear after taking drugs, but tests on performance and cognition have proven that they have performed worse. Drugs of abuse do not improve memory. Time's up, and the correct answer is myth. Certain drugs of abuse stimulate the production of stomach acids, Constant exposure to higher than normal acid levels damages stomach lining, which can result to ulcer. Drug of abuse do not help in digestion of food. Time's up, and the correct answer is fact. Certain drugs of abuse remove shyness and inhibition. In psychology, normal inhibition prohibits a person from doing unacceptable things, thoughts, and desires. Normal inhibition includes not taking other people's things, not crossing a busy street, and knowing what is right from wrong. The temporary courage brought about by taking drugs is a dangerous one, as it makes a drug user lose normal judgment, which is part of a person's normal inhibition. Drug of abuse places a user in dangerous and life-threatening situations. Time's up, and the correct answer is myth. Drugs of abuse are not the solution to problems and worries people encounter. Some people believe that using drugs eliminate one's problems and worries in life. The truth is, drug of abuse will only worsen the scenario and further add more problems, some of which are even harder to solve. Drug of abuse worsens life's problems and worries. Time's up, and the correct answer is myth. The blood becomes warmer, which makes the body temperature rise. In cold countries, drugs are used to heat the body. The truth about this is far from reality. Drug dilates blood vessels in the skin, which enhances convection of heat from the body to the outside environment. Convection transfers heat from inside the body to the outside. Through convection of heat, body heat is lost faster than normal. Drugs of abuse do not heat up the body. Instead, they make the body lose heat faster than normal. Did you get all the correct answers? Congratulations! In addition, the Dangerous Board listed the following signs and symptoms of drug abuse. It is important to note that having a few of these signs doesn't immediately make a person a drug user. Therefore, observation of the physical, mental, emotional, and social behavior must be carefully done to confirm a person is a drug user. And these are declining interest in studies and work, identification with known drug user, negative outlook in life, uncontrolled irritation, paranoia, severe feeling of depression and loneliness, complaints of over-fatigue, frequent involvement of petty fights and crimes, frequent changes of mood and extreme mood swing, lousy physical appearance, sudden weight loss, frequent complaints of headache and stomach pain, convulsion, frequent attack of cough and runny nose, browny stains on fingertips, reddish eyes, wearing sunglasses even at night, loss of balance, loss of interest in sports and hobbies, poor judgment and loose inhibition, and lastly, loss of concentration. And now class, for your assignment, make an interview with 2 to 3 persons via chat or video call. ask their ideas about signs and symptoms of drug abuse and the changes it caused. Complete the table and write your answer in a separate sheet of paper. That concludes our lesson. But before we end our lesson, let me leave to you this quotation by Bob Riley. Drugs are the enemy of ambition and hope. And when we fight against drugs, we are fighting for the future. Once again, this is Ronel I. Villapando, reminding everyone to please stay safe and healthy. Goodbye and see you in the next episode.